I wanted to make a video today to explain what I'm seeing in Palantir and why I believe they are a very, very special company. Of course, Palantir have many different competitive advantages. They have a lot going for them. For example, how they are diversified across many different sectors. Their total addressable market, therefore, is very big. They have both the government side and the commercial side. They've got AIP boot camps. They've got a really strong leadership team. They are able to do well both when the economic situation is more poor because they've got that defense side, when there's geopolitical issues, and then when the economy is very strong as well. You know, there are all these things, and we could speak about these for quite a while, but that's not what I'm going to speak about in this video today. I speak about those things all the time. Today, I want to drill down onto one really important thing that Palantir are able to do that we are not seeing any other competitor or any other company do right now. Something else that is coming up that is very important for Palantir shareholders is their Q2 earnings that is happening tomorrow. I have made a completely free to join Discord server that I will leave linked in the description below and as a pinned comment. Come and join that. It's like I said, it's completely free. You can chat to me and others in real time as the earnings are happening. We can speak about what's going on. Is it good? Is it bad? What we're seeing, our thoughts and all of that good stuff. So again, come and join, use the link in the description below. Now, I don't claim to be an expert by any means, especially when it comes to the really high-tech stuff. You know, I understand Palantir may be better than the average person on the street. I should sure hope so. But obviously Palantir, in terms of the software that they offer, is quite confusing. It's very technical. Not everyone understands it, and maybe that's why for a long time there's not been much retail interest in Palantir. Obviously that has changed recently. But I have been doing a lot of research in the recent few months, in the recent few weeks, in the recent few days. And I just wanted to try and put together a video today to try and explain in the best ways that I can what I'm seeing. Many AI models, like reinforcement learning systems, RL systems, are specifically designed to carry out and excel at tasks that require reasoning skills. In contrast, we have large language models. You've heard of these. These are often referred to as LLMs, and these are primarily designed for carrying out natural language processing, and they often have more limited reasoning capabilities. Let's just say they are way better suited for creativity rather than for deep reasoning. However, it does seem possible to actually enhance the reasoning abilities of LLMs and make them more widely useful across a range of applications. This can be achieved through doing a variety of things. For example, you can incorporate other models in a hybrid approach. You can also integrate human feedback into the systems, and you can use ontologies, that's a keyword, ontologies, to provide a more structured representation of domain knowledge. And by combining these methods, LLMs can generate human-like text and reason more effectively, therefore making them useful across various applications. Let's just think about ontologies a little bit deeper, because this is really important for Palantir. So thinking about using ontologies, which create structured frameworks that link digital data to real-world objects through this concept of a digital twin. They define sets of concepts, relationships, and rules enabling efficient data management and better decision making. Ontologies play a very crucial role in enhancing large language models by providing structured knowledge that improves their understanding and their reasoning abilities, meaning that ontologies allow large language models to be more accurate, contextually relevant, and allowing the LLMs to run in line with the specific enterprises, rules, and ethics, which of course will be very individual and will depend on what enterprise or what organization that ontology is working within. Now, as LLMs become commoditized, which they already are, and they are absolutely going to, every technology company will have their own version. They'll have their own LLM model. And we are already seeing this happen. You know, ChatGPT was a massive thing, but think about how many other large language models, AI models are out there that all other companies are working on. Every single tech company seems to want to have their own version. And because LLMs are becoming a commodity, having a company that can offer LLMs to their customers are no longer going to be a way to differentiate yourself in the market, in the artificial intelligence market. Palantir, however, will be one of the companies that will not come up against this issue. And that is because Palantir are not simply just offering LLMs. They are offering infrastructure and frameworks, ontologies like Foundry to pair with various LLMs. Palantir are allowing their customers to use ChatGPT or any other LLMs in combination with their software. And this combination is allowing Palantir to offer way more reliable and way more powerful solutions in data analysis and decision making. In the image that you can see on the screen now, you can see how Palantir's AIP connects generative AI to real-world operations, with Foundry providing the ontology layer and Apollo managing autonomous software deployments. AIP is playing into a much bigger system that Palantir have created that then deliver operational results. You can also see that there is this AIP Now, which I just think of as a collection of pre-built, easy-to-use AI products and intelligent workflows. But there are also these custom AI products here, and a security layer, which is of course something very, very vital and something that Palantir prides themselves on. And this has become even more important in the recent few months, in the recent few weeks, where we have seen other tech companies have issues when it comes to their privacy, when it comes to their security. So to think of Palantir as being one-dimensional would be really, really silly. They don't simply have Foundry, AIP, Apollo, and all these things work on their own, and it just depends what the customer wants. That's a really narrow way to look at it, in my opinion. These things work together. Their software products are designed to handle some of the most complex, disjointed environments out there, both across the commercial segment and the government segment as well. And even just thinking about Palantir's AIP, artificial intelligence platform, that is designed to provide the infrastructure and tools needed to integrate and leverage AI models within a business context, rather than offering specific AI models themselves. And this allows businesses to use multiple AI models. So they can use ChatGPT plus other ones, and then they can stack these on top of each other. I don't know if stack's really the right word in that context, but basically they can benefit from the combined capabilities of all of these different AI models to deliver business value. Because remember, Palantir aren't just offering an LLM. They are offering the infrastructure, the ontologies that is needed to actually make those LLMs way more useful in the real world to deliver business critical data and results. Now, I think a lot of people, retail investors, Wall Street analysts, fund managers, all of these people, they're waking up to how Palantir is different, to what Palantir is offering and how that really stands out compared to the rest of the market. But of course, Palantir's leadership team, including CEO Dr. Alex Karp, have been saying this for a while. For example, Alex Karp has said things such as, "We are sitting on the only thing that actually creates a quantifiable, transformational value in an enterprise." He's been saying this for a while. Loads and loads of companies are offering LLMs. They're nice to haves, but they're not business critical. He's also said all the value in the market is going to go to chips and what we call ontology. And we've definitely already seen that shift towards chip companies. We've seen them do very, very well in terms of their earnings and very well in terms of their stock price. The value that they are creating is definitely paying off. But he said as well, something we call ontology. Like I've just been explaining, Palantir differentiate themselves because they have the use of ontologies. And we've not really yet seen the value shift into companies such as Palantir, one of the only, if not the only company that actually offer ontology. So I think we're still yet to see a lot of upside there. Another thing that he said is the general approach of just buying models is going to be essentially self-pleasuring for an enterprise at the cost of the enterprise. So again there, he's referring to this whole idea that LLMs on their own are, they're great. They can write you some nice poetry. And, he said that before. He said, great, they write you poetry, but they don't actually change your business. They're not actually able to improve your top line, your bottom line, save lives, depending on what industry they're in, and all these other things that we're seeing. People speak about, customers of Palantir speak about at AIP cons and the case studies that are coming out. Another good one that is very quotable is you buy some large language model, you party with it basically, and the next day you have a hangover. I want to take some time now to dive a little bit deeper into trying to explain the differences between ontologies and LLMs. Think of LLMs as early cars. When the first cars started to come out, they were revolutionary. A lot of people showed a lot of interest and it made a lot of people turn their heads, but they were quite limited without the necessary infrastructure in place to utilize them to their full potential. The true impact and the true usefulness in everyday life of these early cars was only really realized when roads and highways were built, because this allowed them to be widely usable. Likewise, many companies right now are focusing on building AI models, like designing those first cars, whereas Palantir is creating the infrastructure. They are creating the roads and the highways to actually support and optimize these models. So you basically have many companies all doing the same thing, building these AI models, and then you have just a few companies, Palantir being one of the most important ones, actually building the roads, the infrastructure to make these models, to make these cars usable in everyday life and optimized to their fullest potential. All of these models, the customers that use these models need the infrastructure to utilize these models to the best that they can. Therefore, what is going to be in more demand as time goes on? 1 out of 1,000 AI model, or the infrastructure that is required to use all of these models. So AI models are the cars, ontologies are the highways and roads. Now, Palantir as a company isn't brand new. They've been around for a while. They were built in response to the 9/11 attacks. But in terms of being a publicly traded company, a publicly traded stock, they are more of a new company. Now, for quite a while, they only focused on government organizations. They didn't have their commercial segment. Now, of course, they have both. But for a very long time, no one was seeing the true value in Palantir. They were very misunderstood. They were deemed as a secretive company up to no good. But that is, of course, because of the customers that they had. They were doing some of the most highly confidential work. Of course, they couldn't just share it. And another misconception that people have had is that Palantir are just simply a consultancy company pretending to be a software company. But I think a shift has now happened and they are able to prove that this is just simply wrong and this is not the case at all. And I think that shift has happened since they've had their commercial segment, because these commercial customers are not in this, they're not the same as the highly confidential, more secretive or government organizations. Therefore, these commercial customers are more enabled to actually speak about the value that they are getting from working with Palantir. And they do this very well through the AIP Condays. And recently, we've even heard the CEO at Microsoft saying that Palantir is a leader in their industry, which is, of course, a massive shout out. The AI software market is projected to grow to over $1 trillion by 2032, with a compound annual growth rate of 22.97%, according to President's research. So this is still a very young market that has enormous potential. So the question now is, well, is Palantir going to be able to capitalize on the growth of this market, and how much of this market is Palantir going to be able to capture? And Palantir have a great strategy: market domination without specific AI models. Now, like I've been saying, Palantir's strategy is not to focus on developing their own generative AI model, but instead to provide the underlying infrastructure that supports various AI models that is both crucial and necessary. And this quote unquote infrastructure approach that Palantir is taking is more aimed at capturing a broader customer base, which we're kind of already seeing if you think about it. We always say that Palantir has a massive total addressable market. They're agnostic across many sectors. And that is because the way that Palantir works is that they can be useful to everyone. Now, right now, the market has pulled back a bit, and people are definitely feeling a little bit more fearful. If we take a look at the Fear Greed Index, we can see that it's currently showing us a score of 27, which is right on the edge of going into the extreme fear category. Just 1 week ago, we were at neutral, and 1 year ago, we were on the opposite end at extreme greed. We've been seeing a lot of AI-based tech companies falling recently, and this is due to a variety of things. This is definitely multifactorial, macro things and also company-specific things as well. And maybe people are worrying that they shouldn't be as bullish as they once were, and that this whole AI hype thing really is hype. And actually, it's not going to pay off. Of course, with any new technology, any new product, any new development in a company, these things require an initial high spend. It requires a high investment initially for that investment to then pay off. This is the case across anything. Short-term pain for long-term gains. If you're trying to work to get a six-pack, you have to hit the gym every day or eat really well, whatever the formula is, for a very long time before you see that pay off. Initial investment equals long-term payoff. But people are forgetting about this. People are seeing high capex spend and they are panicking. People are seeing margins decrease in certain tech companies because of this high spend, and therefore they're thinking, hang on a minute, maybe I'll sell my shares, maybe I'll step back a bit because this company is going downhill. And people are worrying about how these companies will actually monetize artificial intelligence and whatever their AI solution is to the market. In fact, I think many people were worried about how Palantir were going to monetize this for quite a while, because Palantir didn't really seem to have a proper pricing strategy in place. Karp said himself that right now the company has no pricing strategy for its AI products. He then went on to explain, we're going to get hundreds of customers and we will price it as we go. One of the things we've seen over and over again is when you're ahead of the market, you need to take territory. And this divided people. Some people thought, okay, I trust Alex Karp. Provide the value and the money will come later. But other people, especially Wall Street analysts, I think at the time, thought, what on earth is happening? They don't even know how to price their solutions. This is not going to end well. But to me, it's very clear. Palantir are focusing on significant value generation. They want their customers to really, really see how much value Palantir can generate for them firsthand. That will then, of course, spread. We're already seeing it. The customers are coming forward, they're not even being asked to, they're not even being paid, and they are shouting from the rooftops about how this stuff is honestly changing their daily operations. So Palantir are firstly creating value. They are then capturing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of customers. Then they will adjust their pricing and adjust their strategies as the market evolves. The emphasis is simple. They are focused on value generation and gaining market territory. They want to ensure that they are ahead in terms of AI infrastructure. And the monetization of AI is still in its very early days. And I think Palantir is one of the companies that will do very, very well. Of course, nothing in this video is to be taken as financial advice. I am, for full transparency, invested into Palantir. I have Palantir stock in my portfolio, along with some other companies. I'm very bullish on this company long term, but that's just my opinion and you have to decide what is best for you. If you found this video at all helpful, please share it, please like, and please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.